Most videos and books show piping instruction for right-handed decorators, and that can be confusing sometimes for left-handed decorators. This is Elizabeth. She is our test kitchen manager, and she just happens to be left-handed. She stopped by today to give us some tips and pointers on left-handed decorating. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thanks for having me.
So how do you make the most out of books and instructions with pictures?
Well, what you actually want to do is look at the images in reverse. You can do that either with a copy machine or a scanner that can be used to reverse the image, or there are apps that can do it on your smartphone.
It looks a little awkward sometimes doing that, but it does give you a better idea of where your hands should go and the direction you should be working in.
Through my years of teaching, I've noticed that a lot of my left-handed students have trouble piping borders. Do you have any ideas of how to help them out?
Absolutely. So as a left-handed decorator, it can be natural to try and mirror your right-handed instructor and work from left to right.
Okay.
That actually makes it a lot more challenging, and let me show you how.
Okay, great.
So my hand is actually blocking what I'm doing, and it's a lot harder to control the bag.
Yeah, I can see that. That is tough. Kind of wonky.
What you should actually be doing is working from right to left. So my palm is facing upward. I'm moving the bag from right to left.
That looks a lot more natural.
And look how much better it looks.
What about tips for writing? I know that that can be challenging too.
Absolutely. You want to do everything that you can to actually see what you're doing.
Makes sense.
And that can be difficult because you do still have to work from left to right. One thing I like to do is lean ever so slightly to the right so I can position my head and see better what I'm doing. It gives me a better view than just straight up and down. Also, try not to hold the bag straight up and down. You can tilt it slightly back towards your body, and that way the bag is not in the way and you can see your work.
That's a really helpful tip.
So when printing, you want to let the icing fall down, just like you would if you were right-handed.
Mm-hmm.
Writing is challenging for any decorator, especially when you're left-handed, but I think it's always important to just practice and not beat yourself up about it.
Let's do one more tip. Using the flower nail when you're piping flowers makes it so much easier, but sometimes that simultaneous motion of turning the nail and piping can really be confusing. Do you have any advice for using the flower nail?
Absolutely. So we recommend holding the bag in your left hand and the nail in your right, and you're going to position your hands like this.
Okay.
You want to roll the nail outward away from your wrist, and you're still piping the petals from right to left. And that way you don't drag your tip through the icing.
That is so pretty. These have been some really helpful pointers, and we're hoping that they're going to be really helpful for all of you left-handed decorators. Elizabeth, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.